The psycho serial killing street artist known as Muse has just kidnapped Daredevil's ward, the young superhero named Blindspot. Daredevil knows that Muse has him, so he sits in the middle of Manhattan to use his superhuman abilities to look for the deranged criminal and his protege. "Hey, you all right, man?" "No, Frank, I am not. A monster has stolen a person who was relying on me to guide them, to keep them safe. Blindspot was here, and now he's gone." The blind superhero musters all his focus, scanning the whole city for a sign of the freak. "That's it. Look, Matt. Look. See." But there's nothing to see. Nothing to hear or smell or feel. When you saw him on that rooftop, he was a vortex, pulling in every bit of sensory information around him. He took it all in and gave nothing out. He's a void. He's nothing. See the void, Matt. You can do this. You're blind. If there's one thing you're good at, it's seeing nothing. In fact, Matt Murdock clinches so hard that he starts bleeding from the nose. But it pays off, as his radar sense pings Muse and Blindspot's location, his secret murder studio/gallery where sick and twisted installations are made. And here we are. Welcome to my garret, Blindspot. Every starving artist should have one. Now, technically, you shouldn't see any of this. It's a real look behind the curtain. There's this mystique about art, a shared fiction, if you will. As you'd expect from a man who has dedicated himself to the pursuit of art, Muse goes on to monologue about why he does what he does and how he does it. Like he was a murderous version of James Cameron back when that dude guested on South Park.
James Cameron does what James Cameron does because James Cameron is James Cameron.
An artist presents a piece to the world in its finished form and pretends that it simply appeared that way, effortlessly birthed from his genius. Both artist and audience prefer to believe that's the truth. It's nice to think that the really good creators have some direct connection to the divine, but it's a lie. In reality, it's hours and hours of missteps, frustration, and bad ideas that get sliced away to reveal some kind of truth. It's never easy. In fact, it's agony. Now, say what you will about Muse. He might be just a bit less deplorable than Neil Gaiman at a nanny convention, but the man has a point. Dude knows how to work, which is already infinitely more valuable than a dumbass AI bro, keying in a lazy prompt to feed their plagiarism app with one hand while the other strokes their flaccid egos. And props to our boy Muse, too, because dude knows how to ask for audience feedback. So, what do you think? You don't have to do this. But just like some actual quote-unquote artistes, Muse has issues with actually receiving criticism for their work. Wow, man. Don't you think I told myself that? After that first one, it was a woman, just someone I picked up. I made her into something abstract, told myself I shouldn't, that it was wrong, but it didn't feel wrong. The truth is, kid, when I'm creating, when I'm making, I'm strong. I am right. But people don't really understand what I do. They object to my preferred medium, if you get my meaning. I only have so much time to work before someone manages to stop me. I need to use every moment. So, yes, Blindspot, I have to do this. If I don't, who will? But that's the thing, Muse. You forgot the first rule of the art market. If you want to make them big bucks, you first have to find a gullible 1%er to shell out that moolah. The sheep will follow. But back to the story. Blindspot sees one of Muse's more recent pieces in the corner, the mutilated body of a guy he calls Ten Fingers pinned to a canvas. And, again, Muse forgets another important art market rule. Don't just explain your work, man. Freaking pitch it like it's the hottest thing since Sydney Sweeney's Twins. Instead, Muse decides to just focus on work and think of what he'll do with Blindspot. Well, he wouldn't have much time for brainstorming, though, because Daredevil has just burst through his window for some much-needed justice. Daredevil hurls his baton at Muse, but the guy catches it with his hand. And, as is tradition, they talk a bit of trash first before getting down to the bee's knees. Haven't we been here before, Daredevil? Get away from him, or I will snap every bone in your body. But then, inspiration hits this bonkers Earth 616 version of Banksy. You know, I think I just figured it out. Suddenly, I'm feeling inspired. Muse pokes out Blindspot's eyes to the horror of Daredevil. And to his credit, he even hits Matt with a zinger right after that. You see it, don't you? Blind spot. Muse hurls Blind Spot's nearly unconscious body, and Daredevil catches him. The now blind young superhero, on the other hand, shows he's a true trooper when he doesn't ask for EMTs and instead tells Daredevil to save all the other hostages Muse has been hiding in his murder studio. Matt then chases down the crazy street artist, and as they say, now we have a fight. They get at it at close range, trading blows until Muse finds another opening to run. But Matt doinks him with his trademark baton and puts him in a rear naked choke with it. Muse counters and hurls Matt, which then leads him to the villain's bloodletting room where he collects his, well, let's just say, ink. These are the same hostages Blind Spot was talking about, and each one of them is still alive. Although time is not on their side. Muse then chops off the rope holding his hostages suspended from the ceiling to distract Matt, as he runs toward the rooftop exit of his apartment building. Daredevil is forced to prevent the other hostages from getting head trauma before desperately chasing after the bozo street artist yet again. Thankfully, Muse isn't getting away this time because Frank McGee and a squad of New Attilan officers have cornered him right in front of his exit. Frank sees that Daredevil wants to throw hands at Muse, but he advises against it. He'll be punished for what he's done. I swear it. He took Blind Spot's eyes, Frank. How will he be punished for that? To his credit, Muse does Daredevil a solid and breaks his own fingers. This is what you were going to do, right? Something like this? Make it impossible for me to create art again? Don't worry, happy to do it. It's better for the story. What are you? A Scooby-Doo moment ensues as Matt unmasks Muse, and we find out that he's basically Uncle Fester from the Addams Family. And with that, Muse gets taken away, while Blind Spot tells Daredevil that it was worth losing his eyes if it meant all of the hostages were saved. So it all worked out, right? Yeah, Blind Spot's going to be fine. He's got the best blind teacher around. That's it for this video, guys. We hope you liked watching it, and can't wait to read what you thought about it in the comments section below. Please don't forget to give us a like, share, subscribe to our channel, and ring that notification bell for more. Oh, and if you like this video, you're going to love the next one. So, check that out too. We'll see you soon, only here at KRTV Marvel.